The former CEO of the Johannesburg Roads Agency, Tshepo Mahanuke, has been fired for allegedly faking his educational qualifications. He claimed to have a master's degree in competitive intelligence from Harvard Business School, but the qualification is reportedly not offered by the institution. Mahanuke was axed after he failed to respond to charges leveled against him. We're joined now in studio by Mr. Mahanuke himself, the former CEO of the JRA. Mr. Mahanuke, thank you very much for your time. Let me begin this conversation with your educational background. What do you have right now? What do you hold? And where was it obtained?
Thank you. I'm glad that we're starting there, because then it sums up the reason why I'm here. I hold a national diploma in mechanical engineering from Vaal University of Technology. I hold a bachelor's degree in operations management from Vaal University of Technology. I have completed the Director Development Programs, Part 1 to 5, from the Institute of Directors South Africa. I have done numerous courses with the University of Pretoria, your contract management, project management, quite a lot. It's a lot list. So it's short courses. I won't dwell much into that. Yeah. Upon those short courses, I have done a course called Master Competitive Intelligence, offered by Fallard Academy. The course is not masters. I don't know where this masters is coming from. Right. The course is Master Competitive Intelligence CIP1. It's a course that it's a training program that is being designed, with which you have to do CIP1 and CIP2. Then you are called a Master Competitive Intelligence, either specialist or whatever the title may be. And unto that, responding to the allegations that have been there, on my CV that I applied with, not the doctored one, not the fake CV that has been flying all over the media, the CV that has been submitted to the JRA, which is found on the inbox upon application of the employment. Right. It clearly states qualifications, honorary and awards, and courses. Now, unto the courses, that's where there is that Master Competitive Intelligence. The courses thereof shows where was the courses obtained. For instance, in project management, I have stipulated that project management from University of Free State Business School. The Master Competitive Intelligence, I've stated it nicely, Master Competitive Intelligence CIP1 from Fallard Academy, and then in brackets, which is provided at the Harvard Business School facilities. When I went to do the course, that's where we attended the program. Now, because of the particular agenda that I know not, they decided to say, okay, Harvard is providing Master Competitive Intelligence. I thought it was a joke, actually, when that broke through. That's why I never really responded to it. Now,
so before you move on, let's focus the attention, perhaps, on the Harvard element. What did you go to Harvard for, and did you obtain any educational qualification from that institution?
I've never went to Harvard. I've never went to Harvard. I was never registered at Harvard. I don't even have a student number of Harvard. I've never said I've gone to Harvard. I've said I've gone to Fallard Academy. Fallard Academy, the training course, the facilities were rendered in Boston, Massachusetts, which is at Harvard. So that misconception, even in the investigative report, just to further state that, they've cleared it out. The report had actually cleared out my qualifications. I have it with me here. They've cleared out what I have, my qualifications, with which is the qualifications that I meet the criteria that was advertised by the JRA. They have clearly stipulated that I did not misrepresent my qualifications. They've clearly shown that I did not fake any qualifications.
All right, let me ask you this question. It would seem that you have a number of educational qualifications.
Yes.
Do you think those, according to what you are saying here, that stands you in good stead to get your job back?
100%.
You want your job back because you say that you are properly equipped.
I want my job back because I say and I believe and I know that I'm fit and proper for the position. And at that, I want my job back simply because of I'm aware that there was verification that was done before my appointment. I wrote competency assessments and I passed all those competency assessments. And one within that competency assessment, I came out with advanced. Not only competent, but also advanced. I fully qualify. That is why it's not the subject of my competence or whether I'm unable to deliver or not. It's a subject of saying, we employed him when he's about to report on his 3 months of work, which I was so excited to actually report on what I've done. And then they say, we chop you because of 1, 2, 3, 4. If you give me enough time, I'll tell you what is the definition of the fireable.
You're going to tell me about the behind the scenes in a moment. There is what is called a vetting process whenever you're going to apply for a job, whether it be a government department or a government entity. Did you go through that, and who provided that?
All right. I've went through the vetting process. Let me narrate what happened. Advert came out, I applied. From applying, I was called in because I was shortlisted. I went through interviews. I was interviewed. I received email to say that, congratulations, you have made it through. You have to go for assessments. I went for the assessments. It was provided by the independent institution appointed by the GRA. And that assessment is actually COCTA prescribed. It was a 3 days assessment. I went through that assessment, I wrote the assessment, I took the direct interviews within the assessment, and I came out to be successful, assuming that I was successful in points better than whosoever that went there. And that is why I was appointed and given the offer of the position of the GRA.
The reason I asked that question, Mr. Mahanuke, is that an independent investigation that was described by the JRA board chair, Mr. Charles Silea, who said you could not provide any counter to what they have found or what they had concluded was fraud on your part in the presentation of your educational qualifications, and that's why they came to this decision to fire you. Are you saying that they're wrong?
I'm saying that they're completely wrong, and there's omission in their submission that they have submitted to the media and to the papers. And I wondered why they're so much in a hurry to go and publish. What is their hurry? This is what happened. They subjected me to a disciplinary hearing. First, I was put on special leave. From special leave, then I received an upgrade to a suspension. In January, then I was suspended. Then I received my charges. From receiving my charges, then they took me to hearing. When they took me to hearing, I wrote to them requesting the disciplinary code that they're going to be using, the policy that they're going to be using. They refused with that policy. I wrote again, they gave me a policy, only to find that they have not followed that policy. We took them to court to say that we don't have the policy or the documents relating to my disciplinary. If you were to discipline me, can you share the policy with me so that I know how am I going to be disciplined? Subsequent to that, the disciplinary went on. We continued with the disciplinary. In the middle of the disciplinary hearing, where now evidence is being led by the investigator, they decided to say, we are cancelling. Went home, I received a letter to say that disciplinary hearing has been cancelled. Can you write to us as the board responding to the charges? Then I wrote to them to say within a particular maybe 7 days or so. And I wrote to them and say, hey, you are cancelling the disciplinary hearing. Firstly, that's unlawful. That's one. Two, as you're saying that I must respond to the charges that I've pleaded not guilty, it is not my job to plead to justify my innocence. Justify my guilt as you've already started with the process of disciplinary hearing. I submitted to them and begging them to say, let's go back to the disciplinary hearing. As you are saying that you want to discipline me, let's go back to disciplinary hearing. Before I knew it, on the news, Tshepo Mahanuke is being terminated as the CEO. Not even directly to me. On the news, as the suspension. I saw it when I woke up in the morning, I'm suspended. Oh my God. Oh, am I still suspended? No, it's true. Oh, okay. What can I say? So we're challenging that. We're challenging the unlawfulness. I'm challenging the unlawfulness of their acts. I'm not saying the employer should not discipline the employee in an event that there's a misconduct, but I'm saying that the employer should discipline the employee properly, following proper procedures. There have been allegations of fake qualifications. A qualification is not something that Tshepo Mahanuke must justify. It's something that they can go to the institution and validate whether what they've submitted is valid or not.
And based on the institutions that you have counted to me, VOW, University of Technology included, you're saying that those institutions can vouch for you.
I'm not saying that they can vouch for me. I'm saying that they have vouched for me. It's on their report. They wrote and submitted letters to say that Tshepo Mahanuke did obtain qualifications from our institution. As far as matric, this has gone as far as when I was still an intern. There's letters on the report. I don't know why the report is not leaked anyway, but it doesn't serve their purpose. They have gone as far as validating each and everything. The only thing that they did not validate is whether I'm a male or female. But they validated everything.
Did you ever insist at any point for you to be addressed by employees at the JRA as Dr. Mahanuke?
That was another shock. I'm not a medical doctor or a scientific doctor. It's an award of a title. I've never said to a person, hey, call me Dr. Tshepo. My parents had never said I'm Dr. Tshepo. Even doctors don't insist on titles they don't insist to be called doctors. I was actually shocked to see that they say that I'm insisting to be called a doctor. No. It's an award. It's an honorary. Just like you would say Dr. Ivan Khoza.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that honorary?
From TLIU. And I've also further noted, so that we fast track this, where they say that I've got it from a Bible school. It's a doctorate from a Bible school. I mean, I'm not looking at what the school is offering. The school came to me with a sequence of what they are looking at. And they said, out of what you have done, you have introduced a new body of knowledge based on this subject field. And we have proven beyond reasonable doubt that we now wish to honor you, a doctor. If you go to wherever I wrote doctor, you would see at the end in brackets it's written honoris causa.
Did you pay for this? Because that's part of the allegation that you paid for this honorary doctorate.
I've never paid for an honorary doctor. Or maybe let me put it this way. Yes, I paid for a flight of going there to graduate. But I've never paid an institution to say, let's exchange, sell me the doctorate. What am I going to do with that? And
let me ask you this question, sir. You were given time to appeal the decision to fire you, and there was a stipulated time period.
Yes.
Did you meet that deadline?
I met the deadline. I submitted the appeal in time, even before the closing date. They fired me today. Within 3 days, they said that I did not appeal. And to my surprise, even now, we're still waiting for JRA to respond on our appeal. They've actually wrote to us to more like saying we must appeal further, which is something that I don't understand. But however, we have submitted an interdict. I've submitted an interdict to the Labour Court, interdicting the JRA from appointing or filling that position before my matter is concluded. My strong belief is that I'm unlawfully dismissed. And as I'm unlawfully dismissed, or not even dismissed, let me put it in the terminology that they've placed. I don't know whether the term exists in Labour Court, terminated. I think we're terminating contracts of service providers, not of employees, So they say I'm terminated, and I'm saying that's unlawful. Let's go to Labour Court. Until then, until the ruling of the Labour Court comes out, then I can accept my fate.
So, based on what you've said to me today, you seem to suggest that there's a witch hunt against you. Is that such?
Well, I would say it's a witch hunt on steroids, because it trended for quite some time, you know. And I know how and where it started. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised. For example, I was suspended. I was put on special leave simply because I suspended an executive employee who has been absent from work for over a month. And as a CEO, when I asked for accountability, I was told not to touch him. And at that executive employee has been found with numerous financial misconducts that even some was trying to raise their voice onto that. I was suspended simply because I could not agree to cancellation of contracts that were appointed lawfully. And just because I was asking questions of things, there were assets sitting in certain places, basements. I will later speak of that, where I questioned.
All right. How much did you get paid for this role at the time, for the time that you were employed? How much was your package annually?
I'm not sure if I will be contradicting the term confidentiality in my contract, but since it's made public, I will just speak to that. Slightly lower than 3.5. Slightly lower than 3.5 million that has been placed. I've not yet been paid that. I only served for 3 months at the GRA. So I would say I was paid within that 3 months less than 350,000.
If all goes against you, you are appealing and you are interdicting that this post be filled. Should everything work against you, are you willing to pay back those monies?
Of course. If they find me guilty, if they find that whatever allegations that they're saying they're guilty, of course, I can pay back. I've already paid more than that. I used my pension, I've used my savings, trying to take this matter to be heard at courts. And that is very expensive procedure. Jari alleged that they've spent 2 million themselves. That's a wasteful expenditure. So, right. Yeah.
Tshepo Mahanuke, the fired JRA CEO. Thank you very much for your time.